Number 1. A friend of mine called Jess used to clean a pub that was local to her. She went in every week. One day the landlord sadly passed away. Her and her friend went to the pub to clean it. It was an open planned pub, so you could see the pool room to the bar, and Jess got sent into the pool room. She was emptying the ashtrays, and as she turned around, she seen the landlord walking up and down the bar. As she looked, her friend screamed to get outside. As they headed outside, they looked at each other, shaking, and both said at the same time, "Did you just see the landlord?" It was clear as day. They both witnessed a ghost of the landlord. Number 2. My brother and his partner moved into their new house late last year with their little boy. Me and my daughter came over to stay for a few days. My little girl was playing outside. When my sister-in-law-to-be was watching her at the window, she noticed my daughter was looking up at her son's bedroom, and she started waving and smiling. I went outside to see what she was waving at. I asked her, and she said her uncle, but it couldn't have been, 'cause he was sat down on the sofa in the living room. Creepy, right? Another time now, I was babysitting for my brother at his house. I had my daughter and my baby nephew. He was fast asleep upstairs, and it was me and my daughter downstairs, and she was asleep on the sofa. I had the baby monitor next to me, and I could hear a man. He was either laughing or crying. I'm not too sure, I couldn't make it out properly, but it did freak me out a bit. I went upstairs and checked on my nephew, and he was fine, he was still asleep. Number 3. This happened years ago. My brother's mother-in-law was babysitting overnight for her auntie. They were all sat down at the table having their evening meal, when all of a sudden she heard someone run around in the bedroom upstairs. She asked the children, "What is that?" The children just said, "Don't worry about it. It happens all the time." She just carried on eating in shock and a bit creeped out. Later on, when she put the children to bed, she had set up her own camp bed in their room. When she went to bed, she fell straight to sleep. After a while, she woke up, just lying there. All she could see was the digital clock, and it blacked out like someone had just walked past. But she didn't hear any noises, and the children were still in their beds, fast asleep. Number 4. This happened to my sister-in-law-to-be. Not a lot happened in the house she grew up in, but here are 2 different occasions that something did. When she was younger, she was out with some friends, and as she come back, she went straight to her room and walked into her bathroom. There was black lipstick and nail varnish marks all over the walls, the mirror, towel rail, and even the sink cupboards. She was so angry that she went downstairs thinking it was one of her brothers. Her dad thought it was her that did it, but it wasn't. Nobody went in her room that day, and still doesn't know who did it. The thing is though, her nail varnish wasn't even in the bathroom. It was high up, so her brothers couldn't get it. Her lipstick was in a bag, so and I don't think they'd know where it was, so you can't really explain it. Another time now, she was in her room. I'll tell you a bit about the layout. Her bedroom is actually in the loft. You have to go through the kitchen, which is at the back of the house, to go up 1 flight of stairs. As you get to the top, you come to the next set of stairs, which leads straight into the loft. She was getting ready when she heard someone come up the stairs. She thought it was her dad. She looked out of her door, but nobody was there. So she went down the stairs and shouted down to her dad to see if he'd just come up for something. But he never answered. Then she checked to see if it was one of her brothers. But it wasn't. They were fast asleep. She asked the next day if anybody actually come up the stairs, but no one came up that day. Number 5. This happened to me a few years ago. I was 17 at the time and my sister was only 3. And there was me, my 2 brothers and my baby sister in the house alone. We was all sat around in the living room trying to creep each other out. Then we noticed our sister in the corner talking to herself. We asked her who she was talking to. She said, Charlie. She said it's a little boy. Now, as you know, in my other video I did speak about a family. Well, I already knew there was a little boy that was walking about in the house, and my friend already seen the man. Now my sister is seeing the little boy too. Because she was only 3, it was hard to understand her. But we understood that it was a little boy called Charlie, that he lived there, and he was older than her, and she said he wears a hat and scruffy clothes. We were all freaked out, but she never mentioned him after that night, and we never said anything to her after that. Hi everybody, I hope you enjoyed all that. If you did, then please like, subscribe and share. I will be doing some more. I'll be working on another story soon. Please leave a comment down below. If you want me to read any of your stories out, then I'd love to hear from you. So if you have any creepy stories or anything like that, please put it down below in the comments section. Thanks for listening. Bye.